Today we're going to be viewing a $3.45 million condo here at Destin, Florida with this view. Not only are we going to view this 19th story penthouse suite at Silver Beach Towers, but we're also going to be talking about condo docs.
Because the fine print matters.
And explore some fun things to do around the area.
In case that view wasn't enough. So before we get into the details, let's explore what $3.45 million gets you. Not only floor to ceiling views, but this is the definition of luxury, guys. Let's go. All right, so this is a 3,600 square foot penthouse suite. It is 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 2 stories, and amazing views, which we already gave you a little bit of sneak peek, but we're gonna save that kind of till the middle here. This bedroom overlooks the bay. There's already been a couple planes that have flown by, but since these are wind rated windows, you can tweet. And one thing I noticed, did you notice this yet? All of the clickers. So this is the orange room, guys. They should have made the bedspread orange. Dang it!
Well,
missed that
orange
one.
pillows.
Yeah, both. Because we both thought it was a half bath, but it is not. It has a shower. Yeah. In case you couldn't wait to go upstairs, you can have it right there. So you still have the same.
So to get everybody's bearings here, if you look over here, where I'm kind of pointing at, that's kind of right where you come into Destin. I mean, it's off ceiling. But this would be east headed to west.
And we are getting possible rain and maybe storms today. So it's a little gray outside. It's not the windows, it's just those clouds. So this brings us into the kitchen. Now, I wish the sink was right there. Because I love
gosh, yeah.
But you do have this view when you are
This is actually right there.
But you've got granite.
See that, guys.
Yeah, it's awesome. So you've got custom cabinets, you've got granite, you've got tons of cabinets, a cooktop, built-in microwave, stainless steel appliances, double ovens. Wait, are they? I didn't test. They are not soft close.
So be careful when you're mad at your spouse.
Yeah. You've got a little pull-up bar area here, another eat-in area. Now you're going to notice that there is some film on the windows. They are currently painting the outside of the building, so they're just making sure that they don't get anything on the windows.
It's also why the scaffolding is here.
Yes, and why I was freaking out.
Nothing unsafe. They're just doing a little bit of painting.
Yeah. But you've got an open living room here, and then open to the top because you've got.
You're telling me this is 2 stories, Kristen?
It is 2 stories.
What?
I know. Madness. Okay, do we take them outside or do we wait?
Let's do the master suite.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Wait. This house is the apartment's so big that, All right, so you've got 3,600.
Jeez.
I know, it's bigger than my house.
It's twice as big as mine.
Here's your owner's suite.
So this is one of my favorite things, right? I love a good jetted tub, okay? I like that it's got the spot to put your wine or whatever you want. But I love what they did right here. It already comes with a toy to play. That we play.
Well, and while you're playing with your boat, wait for it.
Ooh.
And it does it. Oh, no, it didn't. Darn it. I thought it did it in the toilet too. But you've got crown molding, you've got full tile, marble, all the fun stuff.
And a place to sit down in the shower.
And you've got a pocket door. I love a pocket door.
Very cool.
Yes, you've got multiple closets. So if you didn't like this one, you could use this one. If you didn't like these 2, you could use this one.
Jeez, so much room for stuff.
And then again, I know.
I'm not even going to show you guys the bed yet. We're going straight to the good stuff. Look at this.
Wait, do these swivel?
2
They swivel. Hold on. So let's just, I'm like, I'm talking to Michael and whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm bored of you. Oh, you could check on your kids while they're down there. Oh gosh, I shouldn't have done that.
So we are shooting this in March.
Yeah.
So
beginning of spring break season.
Kind of just seeing spring break, and they do have rights for it that you're not going to see like 3 or 4 layers deep like you will at a lot of other condos. So you just got this one line for the beach service here. which those are brought out for folks. I'm not sure 100% on the HOA stuff to see if they're paying for that or if that's a
Oh, I have that information for you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We are going to talk about it. I just don't have it right now.
So one thing, since we're up here, we can kind of see now that she just put something by the gate that she's going through, the lady in the middle of that little deck area. Yeah. So it is regulated of who can come in and out. So that's always really nice. It's fully fenced down there, and I need to step back because this is making me dizzy.
If you guys have not been at a high level when you're looking at condos, a lot of people, the first time that they do it, because we show homes like this all the time, or properties like this all the time, the first time they do it, it can make you a little queasy because we're 19 floors up.
Especially if you don't like heights.
Right, yeah, so and if you get a little bit queasy, we're sorry on the video, but we still have more to show you. So
I've done that before by accident to a client. Like I was videoing it for them, and over the balcony, I've got like a little like a finger grip thing on my phone, and I like went like this over the balcony so they could see down. Oh, no. And they were like, "Don't ever do that for us again." They're like, "I know why you did it." She's like, "But oh my gosh," she's like, "I immediately got queasy." I'm like, "Oh, sorry guys."
That you've been doing this for a long time.
That's why mine sticks on my phone. Yeah.
Yeah, you're more bold than I am. All right, let's check out the upstairs.
You go up first. So you've got wood stairs.
Like it.
And I like the little metal accent. All right, so you've got options up here. You've got 3 more beds, a laundry room, and you've got an extra little seating area, which
is my favorite.
Which we think is, yeah, I think we're pretty much, since this is the north side.
I didn't prep the stores, so give me. This is so cool. So, I wanted to. Yeah, you all right there?
I'm good. I'm gonna come back to safety.
A little bit more skittish than I am. So again, to get your guys' bearings, if you've been to Destin before, that main curve that kind of goes into the second portion there with the racetrack and all of that, that's what we're looking at here. You've got the Destin Airport here, which you may use coming in, just depending on who you're flying in with, but most people are going to use the VPS airport, but they do have some smaller charters. You can see barely all those white tops right there. Some of those will be individually either private charters or smaller ones. I know we went through JSX, which was direct flights to Houston and back. Really good experience, and we were able to use this. So if you're coming from a bigger city like that, you've got that benefit. What's up?
There's one taking off now.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so you kind of see them. Hopefully, the camera's not really doing it justice, and I don't want to start zooming in and mess everything up, make you guys dizzy. But that's where we're at. And then right over there, is it Nick Jonas?
I'm sorry. What did you say? Yes.
Yeah, so Nick Jonas, most people know if you visited Destin, you know what Nick Jonas is.
But you're skipping ahead. Don't give them all the other information.
Yeah, my bad. So we're going to be talking about that as well. I know we mentioned it in our intro about talking about different things to do in the area. And she's going to be doing this for a while. We're just going to move on. We'll be talking about different things to do. We'll be talking about condo docs, what to look for, because it catches a lot of people off guard. So definitely stick around for that if condos are possibly in your future. If you're just here for your home or condo in this case, then cool. Stick around for another couple minutes because you get a little bit more shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I love this right here.
Okay, so this is your laundry room.
All right.
So the bulk of the bedrooms are up here, so it kind of makes sense. But it's a secret passage.
And boom.
If you make friends with your neighbors, you can go visit them.
And you probably won't have to deal with this as an owner. But you'll have your linen chute right here. And then you've got emergency stairs just in case you want to go down 19 floors, 20 now is where we're at.
Yeah.
So another owner's closet. One of the closets down below, I did point it out that it's an owner's closet as well. So if you're renting this out, which we will talk rental numbers and things like that later, you would hide your stuff here, whatever you're wanting. If you have extra alcohol in the house or toys, that's...
But this is how luxury, yes, this is how luxury this penthouse is. They put crown molding there.
They just had to make sure. They didn't want it to look silly.
All right, you can't come back here yet.
Oh, yeah,
you have to go that way. So like the second owner's suite.
You get another bathroom, exact same except no boat. So whoever gets this one, no boat for you.
Nope, no boat. But you still have a pocket door.
And we'll tell you something funny about this in just a second, but can you imagine when this tent is, when they're done painting out there? maybe we'll have to come back and do a follow-up or throw some on our social media, you know? So if you guys need to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, we do a lot of kind of like behind the scenes and showcasing some other stuff that doesn't necessarily help out YouTube, because YouTube wants very specific content. So if you'd like some of that extra stuff, you know, things to do in the area and stuff, we do some videos on exactly that.
Yellow. This one's yellow.
Yellow room.
Yeah. Wait, do these swivel too? Yes, they were so smart.
Swivel chairs.
Yes. Well, I've been in so many that they have this little seating area and they always face it this way. And I've never understood that. Like, I don't want to look at, I mean, it's very pretty, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to look at this. I want to look at that. Have my coffee or my
Unless you're sitting
wine.
here reading, then you want the light at your back. But you want the option.
If I'm reading, I'm going to the beach.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Huh, all right.
Yep. All right, cool. Our favorite place. Let's go.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh,
I
you're
gotta
going to
point
tell
this
Are you
out.
going to say what we...
So this is funny, man. You've got a door here.
Okay, hold on. Start
And
here.
there's a door there.
This is the door,
Close this one. which is
yes,
cool.
to the suite. But your bathroom
Your bathroom's there.
is here.
And your closets are right here.
Yes.
So if you were to be showering and walking out in your towel, anybody watching TV is going to get a view. So just keep that in mind. But I love that it's here. I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I was like, this is interesting. I like it.
The things Kristen points out for us.
I do. All right, cool. So balcony, open to the downstairs. But then you get a whole nother little sitting area.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I didn't check to see if these couches were. Nope. But they missed an opportunity here.
Yeah. So you put your video games there. That's what I'd be doing. This is where I'd be gaming, you know?
This is where I would probably read if I was reading inside. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I would go by the window.
Yeah, this little view here. And then, of course, oh, hey, what's up, guy?
What?
This is the other tower by the
Yep.
east-west. Yeah, I did that right.
Yep. We've been in that tower not too long ago, like maybe end of summer last year.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. Didn't get to see a penthouse suite, but let's show them the balcony.
Yes.
And then we can get into some of the content that you guys need to know about if you are considering a condo, either as an investment or as a second home or even a primary. There's a lot of things that we need to go over to make sure you guys are safe.
We did miss one thing in this second, I'm going to call that the second suite, but there's like a little balcony there.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, the blinds were closed.
Yeah, so right here, you can kind of tell we get a little much. It's
Oh, well, it's got stuff in
I
it.
can't open it because they were doing the painting and stuff, and now I'm curious. Come along with us, guys.
Oh, we can. It's just a...
Oh, man, so that is super cool. So this is actually... I would...
Okay, yeah, just kidding.
Taking some of it down, but super cool, because now you can have that open. Just look at this, like, insane. Now, these are blackout curtains here.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are worried about getting the beauty rest, it will get very dark in here. I'm going to step back over here so you can kind of see it change.
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, that didn't work. Dang it. I thought that was going to go.
We're halfway there, guys.
I thought I was just going to roll because that one pretty much rolled. Oh, this like super works. These are like the blackout curtains of all blackout curtains.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's a little bit of light showing on the edge, but obviously most people...
That's because you're a flyer, a former flyer, and that's what you would do. Michael would point out the same thing. Like, there's still light coming through.
Yeah, but my point of this is, like, not bad. You're going to be going to sleep late anyway, but this will help eliminate some of that morning time, some morning time light so that you can sleep.
Much better.
All right, I'm going to start heading to the balcony.
Okay.
I did want to point this out as well. These both open. I know I just opened the one side to show you, as well as this one over here, so you can really get some good breeze going. We tell you guys this on condos all the time if you're a long-term viewer of this channel, but be careful. If you're going to have anything open in a condo, whether you're touring it with us or what have you, make sure that front door is not open as well. Try not to open two doors at once, essentially.
Yeah.
It can cause you a draft. I had a client when he was very brand new in real estate lose the tip of his fingers because he tried to catch the front door because he had left these open.
Yeah, and those doors are heavy. So
Yeah.
you don't want to try to stop that.
Yeah, and
It is a powerful section.
Yeah, and that's what he did. It was not a fun day for anybody.
Eesh.
All right, let's talk some stuff.
Let's do it.
All right, now that we've soaked in all of the views and the luxury that this penthouse suite has to offer, we do want to start going over some of that information we were talking about, starting with the condo docs.
But first, let me and Andrew say thank you to the Premier Property Group at the Seacrest office. Jason and Elizabeth have been really great in letting us showcase their awesome listing.
If you guys are brand new to this channel, by the way, my name is Andrew, or of course you can call me Mongo, and this is Miss Kristen. So let's get into condo docs.
Yeah, so what are condo docs? Basically, it is the framework of the establishment of the condo HOA itself. So you're going to have the declaration of the condo, you're going to have rules and regs, you're going to have frequently asked questions, which I know sounds weird, but it is an actual document, the articles of incorporation, a budget, and then if we're lucky, because these are all things that we're going to get if you're working with the Emerald Group, we're going to get you those before you even make your offer so you can read through them, because in those docs, we'll kind of go through it a little bit, it's going to have everything from if you can short-term rent, how long you can short-term rent for, like what kind of periods, if you can have pets, if the renters can have pets.
Are there quiet hours?
Yeah.
Are there any additional rules that they've got in general that you need to know to make sure? Because if you're buying something like this, and let's say, I love using the pet example, and you've got a 48-pound dog that you want to bring on vacation with you, and you're renting this out other than that, and you're coming here twice a year, we want to make sure that Fido has a spot to come here, that nobody's going to be trying to throw you out. One of the worst things that could happen is you spend almost $3.5 million on a beautiful condo like this and find out you can't even utilize it for what you want, or you've got to board your family member, your dog.
Yes, but the other thing is that is not actually in the condo addendum is meeting minutes. So this is something that I do try to get from the seller for my buyers, because in your meeting minutes, like if you've ever been a part of an HOA, they all have, your either monthly or quarterly or annually meeting. And that's when they talk about the state of the HOA, like if they're in good standing financially, that kind of stuff. But more importantly, if there's any special assessments coming. So that is the big thing, especially when you're buying a condo, because this being the penthouse, you're going to be prorated the most for special assessments. One, because they usually do it by square footage. This is 3,600 square feet. It is a bigger unit. So these are things you need to find out. And
one of the things that I notice when I'm talking to other agents is a lot of agents aren't doing this. We do have a 3-day right of rescission period here in Florida, which is really cool. That gives you can wrap up any condominium complex that you want or unit that you want. You have 3 days to review all of the documents. Now, if you sign off on it and say, hey, we've already read it, which is what we try to do, but we like giving you that option too. Then you can push forward. But why the meeting minutes are so important is because Florida is a full disclosure state. And then there's a comma, and it says, unless you're on condos, and then it has to be like official things. So if they're talking about an assessment, but they're doing it before the meeting agenda starts because it's not finalized. It's far out. Like a year from now, let's pretend they need to do the roof. And they're like, we don't have the budget for the roof. Which another reason why we get the budget, so that you know what the finances look like, so you can ask those questions. But let's pretend. And they're just talking about it. They're like, hey, it's going to be like a year or two out. If they're doing it before the meeting and it's just sort of conjecture and talk, then that information doesn't have to get relayed, which is so wild to me. I don't understand why Florida's like that, but we are supposed to be full disclosure. And to me, just outside looking in, I would hope that information would get pulled. But as soon as it's in the meeting minutes, it is now a required item for them to mention something. And sometimes owners just either aren't keeping up with it or aren't thinking about it. So we want to make sure that we give you those minutes so that you know exactly what you can expect moving forward. And that's a good point that I was going to make too, is that owners disclose as much as they know. So if they are blissfully unaware, they don't look at their meeting minutes, they don't log into their HOA portal and read these things or show up on the Zoom, whatever, then they don't know, so they don't have to disclose. So that's why we want that document if we can get our hands on it. And it's surprising. It happens a lot more than you think, especially in our area, because so many of these are used as an investment. And so you've got a property manager, they're taking care of everything, and it's just sort of like in the background, you're not thinking about it, everything's done for you. You might not be checking your emails on these kind of things. It's just not that important to you. And then life circumstance changes, or they find another condo they want to buy and they just throw it up for sale. So definitely do your due diligence. It's one of the most important things. If you're working with us, hey, we're going to help you with all of this. We'll walk you through it. We'll even read through the docs with you if we need to, or to whatever your comfort level is. But if you're working with somebody else, please make sure that you're getting all of those documents that we mentioned. So, save this video or what have you so that you can go back to it, or just give us a call and we will, we'll help you. All of our information will pop up on the screen.
Another thing that is now required in the state of Florida is your milestone inspection and your structural integrity report study. I forget what word they're using. But basically these things have all come to fruition from when there was a condo in Miami that the balconies just fell off the building. So it was an older building and people died from it, unfortunately. But because of that, now in the state of Florida, if the building is more than 3 stories and more than 30 years old, they have to do the milestone inspection at that point. So 30 years old, and then every 10 years after. And for the structural integrity study report, whatever it's called, that one is, again, more than 3 stories, and then they have to do it every 10 years. So those are just things to think about. One, because when you get that study, if it'll have almost like a home inspection where it'll have here's the things that you need to work on and here's some things that need to get fixed. If there's no talk of a special assessment in the meeting minutes and we get that report and there's a ton on there, we need to look at the financial budget and the reserves and see if maybe we'd be okay, or if we have the conversation of, hey, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Seller, or Mr. Buyer, Miss Seller, there's a huge list of things that need to be fixed. They're not talking about special assessment yet, but it's probably going to happen. So.
Yeah, so that's one of the big reasons why we want to go over all of this stuff with you so that you're informed too. One of the most gut-wrenching feelings that I ever get as a real estate professional is helping somebody buy this, having the conversation, and then something happens down the road. So I'll give you an example. We had one out in Fort Walton, so we're in Destin now, and helped this gentleman. And I told him, hey, there's a big assessment coming. There's probably 2 to 3 of them coming, depending on how they decide to split this up. He was dead set on this condo complex, buys a condo, and about 8 months later, the special assessments hit. And he was fine because he prepped for it and all of this. But what happened was a lot of the owners in that complex ended up selling off their units because they didn't have enough in reserves. And these were pretty hefty assessments. So HOA assessment's a real thing, or in this case, COA, condo association, assessments can be a real thing. But if the budget's good and they're doing good things with the money that they're receiving, then it's generally not an issue.
Yep. All right, so rules and regulations. So we kind of touched on it already. It can be anything from if you can have pets, what size, what breed, all that stuff. If renters can have pets, which normally they can't, just so you know, but still things to look at. And then also length of renting if you want to do that. So it can be anything from 6 months plus, 3 months plus, or weekly, daily, all those things. But you need to look at that depending on how you're going to use your condo, or if you want to be in a condo that doesn't allow it at all. So those are things to look at. Other things that can restrict is, what kind of balcony furniture you can have, what kind of curtains you can have, because maybe they want them all to look a certain way from the outside, because I've seen that before too. And even down to if you can have a video doorbell. I'll tell my quick little story, but there's one in Navarre Beach where they were trying to put them, on their doors, their exterior doors, but they were putting them into the stucco, which was causing a whole mess. So they have a whole little paragraph in their rules and regs now that you can only put it on the door frame and all this stuff. So it's like a whole thing. But these are things that you need to look at. And if it doesn't concern you for some of this stuff, cool, but more than likely it will concern you eventually.
A couple other weird ones that I've seen before, just because I think they're going to find one of them, Christmas lights. Like some of these condos, they like to put Christmas lights out on the balcony. There's in some of the CCNRs, there are restrictions on that. And one that catches a lot of people off guard is so many of these are being rented out for, income. And some of the condo complexes require you to use their rental person. This can be good and bad. In one aspect, it's very good for your consumer, the people that are renting it, because they can go to a front desk, they can talk to a person instead of just getting a code on their phone. But nowadays, as we're moving into a more private world here in America, it seems like a lot of people like that privacy. So, there's some pros and cons there. And the biggest con is if that rental manager isn't super good, then you might be losing out on some income. And then you're at the mercy, if you will, of whatever their percentage is. For those that don't know, when we're looking at rental percentages for short term, this isn't like a long term where you're going to pay 10%, 12%, something like that. It's typically going to be about 25 to 35%. I've actually seen a lot in the 20%.
I've seen a couple on the 15 to 18 as well.
I've seen a few for sure. So keep that in mind. Again, we can run all of these numbers for you if you are considering using this or either using it as a pure investment or using it to hedge against your vacations, which is one of the biggest benefits of doing a condo, to be completely honest. Your entire vacation is essentially, being paid for by the rental income. But we can run all those numbers for you. We do have a pretty good idea of what all of that looks like, so we can get down to the nitty gritty to figure out, is it actually cash flowing or is it not?
Yep.
All right, now that we've covered the fine print, Kristen. All right, now that we've covered the fine print, let's talk about some of the numbers for the condo itself, for this particular unit.
Yes. All right. I'm cheating again. Okay, so for this unit, they grossed about $240 last year. Which
$240,000?
Yeah.
It's actually really good for this price condo.
So that's one thing. So yes, this unit is $3.45 million. And typically we want to see that 10 cap. But on these higher priced units, you're just not going to get there. So if you're buying something like this, you just have to kind of keep in mind that you just need to love it. And you want something that you want yourself. Maybe it's a financial reason that you need to put some money somewhere, those kind of things. But you're probably not going to 10 cap on this kind of price point. So
yeah, that's one of the things that we're going to go over. Hypothetically, if you guys call us to purchase something out here, one of the things that we want to go over is your goals and your intent of it. Because what'll happen is you guys will call us and be like, hey, I'm looking for an investment. The second we think you're doing a full-blown investment, we're not even thinking about anything but numbers, right? So that's a different goal, is like, hey, I just want a cash cow. We have those. It's not going to be this type. This is going to be something that's better for like, hey, I come to Destin 3 or 4 times a year already, twice a year, once a year already, and I want something that'll help pay for the actual unit so that it's not just sitting here losing money. I don't know about you guys, but that would drive me insane, just knowing that there's a property sitting here that could be creating income. So that's a different goal. Then there's the, hey, I want a second home. I actually want to live in it 8 months out of the year, 9 months out of the year. And then there's the last goal of like, hey, I want to live in it full time. So we need to know which direction to go, because it's going to change the type of condo, the unit, the complex, the everything. It's going to change so much about where we help you kind of direct yourself to purchase.
Yep. So the management fee on this one, or who they're using, is 20%. So it's a little bit lower than we talked about. And then let's see. So just that net right there, they're netting about $192. From there, take off the fees that you need to pay. So your property taxes, your electricity, your insurance. They do have an HO6 policy on this one. Their HOA dues. Taking off all of those, now you're netting about $136.
And then you've got replacement costs from there. You've got to replace linens. People take probably not as much on this, on like a penthouse condo like this, but in a lot of other condos, people take your pots and pans out to the beach.
Or decor.
If you've ever been out there and seen somebody with a ladle, in there, it's because they took it from their condos. So it's just replacement costs. Generally, you're not going to have to worry about it as much on something like this. Maybe $1,000 to $2,000 a year at the very high end. Right. That's including if you've got to do minor maintenance, replacing a toilet here and there, stuff like that.
So for beach towers, they do have a 1 pet per unit for the owner. So they do not allow renters to have pets. I didn't find the exact weight, but I'm guessing it's going to be under 60 pounds. I have heard of people that have contacted the HOA before they purchase their unit to get like hey, I have a Great Dane. He's fully vetted. Here's a letter from my vet. He's very kind, like whatever, to get, what's what I'm looking for? Like to get like a, no, you're good, like an okay from the, so you can do that. There's never a guarantee. And obviously they can change their mind down the road. So just kind of keep those things in mind, like we talked about. And then beach services. We kind of talked about it when we were in this room the last time. So they did just change their beach service policy. It is now an annual fee if you want to do like a season pass of $2,400. If you have that as an owner and you have renters here, then they pay $30 per day for a chair and an umbrella. So they get a discount. If you don't have that annual policy, and whether it's you or the renter want to get one of those, it's $65. And then their guest policy is pretty simple. This is another thing that you need to look at, especially if you're going to rent it out. For 2-bedroom units, you can have a max of 6 guests, 3 bedrooms, 8 guests, 4 bedrooms, 10 guests, and 5 bedrooms like this, you can have a max of 12 guests.
12 people up in here.
Now, there are some condo complexes that are very strict. They know their units. Sandpiper Cove is one of them. The security guards know their units. They know what they can sleep, and they will turn those renters back around, and they will not let them in. If they come in with a car of, 8 people and it's only a 2-bedroom unit, they will definitely turn them around. They still have to pay, but now you don't have too many people in your unit. So sometimes people look at that and they're like, I can only get that many, but it's a good thing because you don't want that many people in your unit possibly causing damage.
And then again, depending on that goal, right? If you're looking for pure investment, Sandpiper Cove is actually a really good one, even with that rule. But there are other condo complexes where they don't have any restrictions. And then we go into what we call heads in beds, right?
Yep.
The more heads you can fit in beds, generally, in quotations, the more money you're going to make. Obviously, if you try to stick 8 bunk beds in a room this size, like you're not going to, you're going to have a little bit of obsolescence there, meaning like you're not going to get your money out of it. But within reason, that's why you see a lot of these condo complexes where there are 2 bunk beds in one room. It's to get more people in there because people want to save money.
Yep.
So if you're vacationing with 10 people, you want to get them all under one roof for as little as possible. Sometimes.
Yep.
All right, now that we've gone over all of this technical details, what are some of the things we can do out in this area? But I don't want to do it here. It's going to be
Let's go show them.
Yeah, all right. Okay, an important thing to a lot of folks is what is around the condo complex that I can get to fairly easily. Maybe you want to walk everywhere, you want short Uber rides. So let's go into some of them. I already kind of teased it a little bit before. I'm going to start over here. We've got Big Kahuna's. A lot of people know what this is. Huge water park. If we could figure out the camera. Huge water park. It's got rides on there too. It's not just water slides either. They've got some rope swing things and stuff I've never done out there. But very, very cool spot. Very, very big lazy river. It's got some kid-only pools. It's got a huge pool on one side of it. A really, really good time. You can get annual passes, things like that. Working our way over here, I want to go over to the track. As you can see, there's actually some go-karts tooling around on it right now. It's a very fun track. It doesn't look like they're going very fast, but when you're actually in it, it's going a little bit faster than you think. But it's not going to be, speed racer or whatever.
So there's actually 7 tracks. There's bumper boats, there's bumper cars, arcade, there's a harness skydiving thing, and then if you can see the big arm, I'm going to try to, I can't, the big white arm sticking up, that is actually, I forget what it's called, the Hurricane 360. It has a 12-person seating thing up there that just flings you around and spins you.
Yeah, you probably can't see it in the camera, but there's actually somebody swinging on it right now. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you look just behind it, you've got the sports complex here. There's not generally a whole lot going on there, but occasionally they do stuff for the public out there. The reason I'm pointing it out is because it's wildly obvious. You can see all the baseball things. Just on the other side of it, there is a dog park too. So that is the closest dog park to this particular complex. A couple other things that I want to mention. One of my favorite, kind of cheap pizza places is actually right here called Merlin's. It's literally right across the street. So if you see where this says Beach Liquors and Wine, it's at the corner there. And it's not going to be like gourmet pizza. So don't go over there thinking that you're getting some red brick oven, style pizza. It is cheaper. I don't even like using cheaper, inexpensive pizza, but it's good. Okay.
You've got the back porch, which is on the water side. You've got Henderson State Park, which is another beach access point, which we know is if you don't want to see the beach, but it's another beach access point. You've got shopping, so just down 98 that way, there's Target, Hobby Lobby. And then if you want to do outlets, you're going to be further down. It's not as close, but you'll be down that way into Miramar. There is some outlets. Here you mentioned the airport.
We've got the Pancakery down the road.
Crackling.
And then, of course, you're right you're literally in the center of Destin as you could possibly be. So everything's fairly close by. It's at least a quick Uber ride. So if you're trying to get out to the harbor walk to go, out drinking or, go grab a good meal, or maybe there's an event going on, because there's always some sort of event, not always, but especially in the summertime, they'll hold events. Like if tacos and tequila or a wine festival, a tequila festival one time, you've got those. And then on the other side over here, you've got the Destin Commons just past Kelly Plantation. It's a nice neighborhood out there. You've got some golf courses out there as well. So if you're coming out here to golf, it's right up the road, maybe 8 minutes on an Uber. And what else am I missing, Kristen? We talked about the airport. Chick-fil-A, probably super important.
Chick-fil-A. There's actually a really good shake place. I've never had the shakes, but I've heard they're really good. Right by Chick-fil-A. You've got all your surf shops. So there's there's 2 surf shops just right here.
Oh, and if you happen to, go out to the Harbor Walk, have one too many drinks, come home at 1 a.m, there is a Waffle House walking distance. So you can get food that will probably mess up your gut for a while, but it's pretty good. Like for really inexpensive food.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and we didn't talk about Big Kahuna's as far as like what all's there. It is a huge water park, but there is actually a couple. There's an arcade there as well, and there's the little skydiving thing too. So there's that too.
Oh, and then there's a bounce.
It's a sky park.
Yeah, sky park.
Indoor trampoline place.
I've actually not been to that one here. I've only been to the one in Fort Walton.
I looked at the website and it looked legit.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Called Urban Air, and it's more over there.
All right, now if you're curious of what amenities come with a $3.45 million condo, well, that's what we're going to show you. So this kind of wraps up the actual inside.
Oh, go get the door.
So, this wraps up the inside. We're going to kind of take you guys downstairs.
I wonder if that opens.
Yeah, I would say it. It's pretty cool.
Let me find
What I want to show you is that there is a covered garage.
the parking spots.
Over the buildings, we have garages, which I'm assuming is
Over here.
could use a little spray down, maybe.
Well, and there's 2 parking spots too.
Okay.
So you get
So
this.
also 2 parking spots.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else we got.
All right, so let's go check out the amenities. You've got a grilling area here, actually a really nice little grilling area. And we're gonna go this way and find the pool. So fun fact, the banner plane actually takes off in Navarre, across from the big Walmart. When my son was little, he would love it if we caught it right in time when the plane would come down, because they'd see it, drop the flag and then have to come back around and pick it back up. All right, so there are pool hours from 9 to 10 p.m. You're welcome. All right, so this pool is huge. We were looking at it from up there, like it's huge. So you've got all the, now again, this is pre-spring break. It's very beginning of spring, if I can talk today, spring break season. So there are more people than I thought there would be, but this time next week or even the week after, it's gonna be, those aren't gonna be stacked up there. I didn't check to see if it was heated. It is not. It's not cold though. So you've got a little, what is that? Oh, is that the kayaks? Looks like it goes from 3 feet to 5 feet. The tip sea turtle. So we were all the way up in that one. So this is where we were showing you before when we were up in the balcony that you do have to have a wristband. That was actually one of the things I do remember reading about in the rules and regs. They are very big on these wristbands, but there must be some kind of like little connection to have to get in and out. So pretty nice. So hopefully you loved that $3.45 million penthouse at Silver Beach Towers as much as we did. Don't forget to give us a call if you're looking for something like this, or maybe you're looking for something a little bit different. All of our information is going to pop up, but don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so that you don't miss any new videos that we pop up, and give us a thumbs up. See you guys next time.